Live stream is booting up. It's warming up. Hey, what's up, classic TV and movie fans? Rick9G here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, I love it. Live streaming. I am so excited to be on here. So excited to be able to connect with some of you tonight. I used to do lots of live streams, and I started doing them again, and I'm so happy that we're on our way to do a lot more of these. The last time I did this was 2 weeks ago. I think it's good. Weekly, maybe too much or too often. I think what we're doing now is pretty good. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks today. Let's see if another 2 weeks we can get on here. And it seems like Monday nights is a pretty awesome day. If you want to say hello, let me know where you're chiming in from, where you're saying hello from in the chat. Don't be afraid to say hi. I am the man behind the voice. In case you don't know, I know some of you know. I know some of you don't. The guy that you hear with all the commentary on the Rick9G channel. I'll shout some of you out if you want. The super chat's there for anyone. It's, again, optional. I would try to get to as many people as possible, but notice that there are lots of people on here, so it takes some time. I want to give a big shout out to Randy Tompkins for being an amazing moderator on here. So I appreciate you, Randy, and keeping the chat, keeping it proper, keeping it on course with what we're doing. So I do appreciate you, Randy. All right, hey everyone, nice to see everyone. Great to see everyone in the chat. Lots of nice new faces, which I love. Let's start seeing where people are from. Let me see. Okay. San Bernardino. Okay, nice. Southern California. Boston. Greetings from LA. That's awesome. Great city. Atlanta, Georgia. Perfect. Love hearing that. Hi from Canada, Ryan. Our first international viewer right now. Let's see how far we can go. Victorville, California. Christopher Kraft, why did I think you were like farther? I'm glad to hear Christopher and his health is doing okay. Let us know. Basically, I won't get too much into it, but what we all need to know is he's doing great. So big shout out to Christopher and his health. So happy to hear that. All right. Ooh, Christopher asked me, what are some of the next location episodes? Christopher Monterey. Great question, Christopher. Unfortunately, I do not reveal where I'm going to go before I do it. One of the reasons is, surprise, you guys need to tune in. You got to watch every video. You got to be subscribed. If you're here and you haven't been subscribed, what are you doing? It's absolutely free to do so. Don't wait, because there's no other way you'll know my videos come up. So be able to subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. You only do it once in the life of the whole channel. And I don't want to give other channel ideas by where I'm going. A lot of these locations, some have been visited by people on YouTube. Some have not. And so I don't want to show my cards. Let's just say that. Birmingham, Alabama. Alondris, nice to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you on the live stream. Appreciate seeing you all on here. Did you ever like Boy Meets World and The Wonder Years? I could not stand The Wonder Years. Boy Meets World, I mildly enjoyed as a kid. I wasn't a big fan of it. Like when it came on, I was like, I think it was too like high school and like too much relationship stuff. I wasn't too much into that. I like the physical comedy, the silliness. And Boy Meets World doesn't have that. So let's do this. If you want to know what shows I like, see if there's physical comedy in it. If it's not, it's probably one that I don't like. Wonder Years, not there, right? Married with Children, no physical comedy. What else? Golden Girls, no physical comedy. Yep, not shows that I like, all of those that I named. So it really has to do, I love physical comedy shows. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only thing I like. Twilight Zone, there's no physical comedy. And that's more of a drama, like mystery. And I love the Twilight Zone. I have a lot of stuff on the Twilight Zone there now. Michelle Marie Nicole Salcido, nice to see you. First time I see you on the live stream from Los Angeles. Awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. Moreau, Washington. Windsor, Ontario. Another Canadian watching us. Amazing. New Jersey. Let's see who else is here. Livonia, Michigan. That is awesome. Michigan, more Michigan people. John from Florida. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's a couple of Michigan people on here. I think I saw at least two. Smedley says, I like your video about the Gilligan's Island Lagoon. I wondered where that was, and I was a little disappointed with its location. Why were you disappointed? That's the magic of TV. It's like a magic trick. When you find out how magic tricks are done, you most likely get disappointed. What really counts is the actual performance. The magic in your mind is the amazement. So the Gilligan's Island fantasy of what you thought it was is what counts. Doesn't matter where it was at. Okay, it really doesn't. It could have been in your backyard, meaning like right next to you. Like some of those people who lived right next to the studio probably didn't know Gilligan's Island was right next to them. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have aerial photography that readily available. You could literally be a pose from the studio and never know Gilligan's Island was there, unless you were like outside and maybe saw like Don Wells drive by or something. But that is amazing. So don't let that get you down. Don't let that not let you enjoy the show. Remember, these are shows that were made to create an illusion in our mind of a fantasy, right? Ooh, Twilight Zone episodes. Ooh, I love a lot of them. I love, I don't know a lot of these things by name, especially with the Twilight Zone, but I love the one with Death visits the old woman, Robert Redford. I think it's Nothing in the Dark. I like Five Strangers with No Exit, right? The five mysterious guys, the clown, there was like a soldier, and then there's a ballerina and the hobo, and I think a ballerina. I might have said it, but yeah, they're there and they're trying to get out. Oh, there's so many. I love the one with the camera the most, with the 10 shots and it tells a feature. Oh, I love that episode. I don't like the typical episodes that people like. That's just me. Hey Jerry, nice to see you. Martin and Lewis, I have never gotten into them. Kalamazoo, Michigan, thank you. You say you love the channel. I appreciate it. Auntie Vera Charles says, happy belated birthday, Rick. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you getting on the stream. Let us see. If you haven't given the chat a like, go ahead and give it a like. I would appreciate it. It's absolutely free to do so. All these things that I ask of, they're free, right? People who are on Patreon, that's optional. Super chats, they're optional. I never... those are things which are never mandated, never like obligated. They're just, what I love is when people come and join. So that is awesome. So Texas Ranger fan, if you're talking about Hogan's Heroes Nimrod, who is Nimrod supposed to be? Check out my videos. I made 5 or 6 videos on Nimrod. So go ahead and check those out. I think you would enjoy them. In every video, I present the theory that it's that person, whether it's Clink or I was going to say Hogan, not Hogan. Clink or Schultz or Corporal Langscheid. There's a lot. Even Gertrude, Burkhalter's sister. And I make a good argument for that. So go ahead and check it out. I think it's pretty amazing. I have not watched any of My Three Sons. Yeah, people have asked me, Rick, look at Dobie Gillis. Really no interest in it. It's like a high school thing. I'm not into the high school type shows. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to say I was the biggest fan of, like, there's nothing wrong with my high school experience, but it was very academic and I don't see a lot of interest in me watching that. So a lot of shows, I'm not into that. Oh yes, Pop Culture Curator, 5 characters in search of an exit. That's the one I meant. Oh, and there's so many more. I love a lot of the aircraft ones. So the ones where I think it's Odyssey of Flight 33 or something like that, but they go back in time and they're just flying. The whole episode's like in a cockpit, an airplane cockpit. I love that. I don't like a lot of the ones that everyone knows, you know, the Canamet one or the Bill Shatner. It's not that I don't like them, but those aren't my favorite. I don't think they're the best. Oh, the ones, the 2 astronauts that go on a planet and then they're tiny people there. And then one of the guys goes crazy and thinks that he's a god. I love that episode. That is so great. Hunter Iggy, my thoughts on the Wednesday TV series? Check out the video. It's a TV series, not a movie. Check out, I made a video on it. I didn't really give my thoughts, to be honest. Some people were even upset that I made the video. I'm like, I wasn't even really giving my thoughts on it. I was just saying that other people were upset about it. Some people liked it. What do you think? I always prioritize all of you and what do you think, not so much what I think. I mean, what I think is great, but I'm just one of you, and so, right, for or against. I will fall into one of those categories, or neutral. Sometimes it would be neutral. So yeah. Nimrod was a talking cat. Hey, it could be. There was a lot of dogs and animals on Hogan's Heroes, so absolutely. Scotty Park Jr. asks, Parks Jr., what is your favorite I Love Lucy episode? As of now, it is Home Movies, Season 3. Wonderful episode. I'm an old cow hand. Old cow hand. And I got wind of it. Such a good episode. So funny. Absolutely awesome. Awesome. John Collins, first time I see you in the live stream. Thank you so much for being the first super chat of the live stream. I appreciate you, John. Let's read what you have to say. You say, I enjoyed your video about Michelle Thomas. For those of you who may not know, Michelle Thomas was the wonderful actress whose life was cut short so sadly. Michelle Thomas playing Myra, Steve Urkel's girlfriend on the show for some time, passed away from real life. I believe it's stomach cancer. So sad. She was very young. I think she was in her 20s when she passed away. Such a sad thing. She's wonderful. Everyone always said she was a wonderful actress. Everyone on the show, they even talk about how Family Matters, they would argue with each other on the set, like Urkel or Jaleel White and Reginald VelJohnson and Joe Peyton Marie and so forth, Marie Peyton. But they never say anything bad about Michelle Thomas. Everyone says she was the sweetest, most wonderful person. She even did waitress work in between Family Matters to pay the bills, which is nuts. She did whatever, and she didn't want people to know who she was because she was embarrassed. Such a great woman. So, yes. Thank you. Have you ever done a video on the 50s or 60s game shows? I've done one on You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx. So check it out. A lot of people didn't watch it. But again, I didn't go hard on the game show stuff. Usually how YouTube works, it's very hard to make one video and let it, allergies. To make a video and let it go viral, it's usually when you start creating an audience for a show and then maybe one of those may explode and do really, really well, you know? Yeah, so let's see. So excuse me here if my allergy, I was fine, but okay, let's see. Bewitched, I watched one episode of Bewitched, the first one. I was not impressed. I own the whole series. Believe me, I have so many shows. Blink FM, why have you not watched it yet? I have so many shows that have been recommended to me to watch. Basically, every show that you can imagine that's classic, at one point or another has been recommended. And it's really hard to keep up, plus the work that I'm doing, plus the fact that I have a life outside of YouTube, and I have a second business that I run other than YouTube, and then a third business that I run that I have nothing. So I'm busy. So it's hard to get into shows. Sometimes I just watch certain shows, enjoy them. I'm on a Star Trek The Next Generation binge right now, privately, like on my own. I watch it for fun. I've seen it before, but yeah. Linda, if you happen to come late, don't worry. You can always go back and watch something prior. So, yeah, going back to John, thank you for your super chat and great questions. The 80s renaissance of them. Yeah, I think game shows is something eventually I will get into. Supermarket Sweep and things like that. I do like game shows. I do. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan, but like The Price is Right. I was on The Price is Right. I was in the audience. It's perfect. Oh no, I don't take anything for allergies. I just take it. I just withstand it. See, it's going away already. It's on the tail end right now. It's going away. Elsine, what's your favorite ride at Universal? Ooh. Okay, I don't know anything about Harry Potter, but the Harry Potter ride is amazing. It mixes screen with actual movement. You're like on this, it's not really a roller coaster. Yeah, it's technically an arm roller coaster that swings like this, plus the thing is moving, and then you're moving like this, right? And there's practical effects, there's CGI, not CGI, but like computer graphics. It's really cool. It's really, really, really good. But I also like The Mummy, and I love Jurassic Park, or World. Favorite episode of Gilligan's Island? Yes. I mean, I have a few. I don't think I narrowed it down to one. I really like Smile, You're on Mars camera, but I think, no, more than that, quick before it sinks, where the island's sinking. They think the island's sinking, and they make the raft, and they do this whole thing. It's so wonderful. These are great questions, by the way. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, everyone. Yeah, you're just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, feel free to ask questions about the channel, how YouTube is, any of my videos that I've been working on recently. I literally have 4 in my mind that I'm gonna be making, and it's like, which one do I do first? Why should I do one over another one? I already know what shows they are, and again, I never reveal what I'm gonna do before I'm gonna do it. It's just my thing, and I think it's a smart thing to do. Sabrina Rodriguez coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for being so generous and awesome with that super chat. So let's see. Did you watch the Lucy and Desi movie with Nicole Kidman? I did not. I made a video on that. I pretty much put all my thoughts about that project on there. You thought it was great. Good. I'm glad. I know a lot of people who enjoyed it. Some people who weren't. It was a very controversial thing. I think if you're a fan of I Love Lucy or Lucille Ball, you fell into one of 2 categories. I decided not to watch it, but I'm glad that there were people who enjoyed it. Okay. Favorite episode, Three's Company. Oh, man. So Three's Company, I own the whole series, but I believe I've seen every single episode because I've tried to go chronologically and watch every single one. But when I watched it on TV, I watched it in reruns. So that's something that now I've been watching more heavily. So there's a lot that really jump out at me. The one where it's called Up in the Air, where Jack gets a little tipsy, mixes tranquilizers, I believe, or relaxers, muscle relaxers, right, with alcohol, and he starts dancing. I love that one. A Camping We Will Go, where they're camping, and Mr. Furley's there, and Lana's there, and Jack is like naked in the woods. I think that one's great. The one where they got robbed, there's 2 where they got robbed. There's one where they get robbed at the flower shop, at Janet's, where she works at her flower shop. I love that one. And I also love the one where they come home and the robber's there. I think it's the same one. And Jenny Lee Harrison, well, the actress, Cindy, like, saves them. I think that was awesome. I love that episode. So there's so many. There's so many good episodes. All right, let me see. Oh, man. Great questions. Let me see here. What is my favorite Three Stooges episode? I love Cash and Carry. I've mentioned that a couple times. I still love that episode. It's the one where the Stooges they live at a city dump and they find treasure. I'm all into the treasure ones. I think one of the other ones I really like, We Want Our Mummy. I think that's what it's called. And they go to Egypt. It's the one with Curly and the King Reuben tune. Oh, I love that one. I love Egypt-themed stuff. And so for me, that is awesome. I want to thank everyone for all the likes. Look at that. The likes have just jumped up. Concurrent viewers have jumped up. So I really appreciate all of you, especially those, if you're on the East Coast or watching like 3 hours ahead. It's 8 o'clock. Some of you are on here like 10, 11 p.m. But I think it's like a great way to spend a Monday night, if that makes sense. Because, Mondays, some people don't like Mondays. So it's a great way to talk about shows and just get on here. Oh, Jared asks a great question. Are there any shows you want to get into but just couldn't for some reason? Yeah, like Bewitched. I try to watch, and again, I just watched one episode. But I really want to know, like, someone message me on Facebook or Instagram. Send me the best episode of Bewitched, in your opinion, and I'll watch that. I have the whole series. Let's see if I like it. Get Smart. I did watch a good amount of it, but it's not a show I can watch tons of episodes. Like, I watch 1 or 2 episodes, and then I'm good, right? I Dream of Jeannie, I watched more of it and I liked it more. Beverly Hillbillies, I used to watch as a kid. I didn't really like it as a kid that much. It was just on after Gilligan's Island. I just watched it and now I could not get into it. Andy Griffith, I think it was hard for me to get into as well. A little too slow paced for me, a little too relaxing. Not that that's bad, just it wasn't super into physical comedy. It's not exactly the comedy that I like. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not my thing. But I love Emergency, and I love Adam 12, and I love Chips, and there's no physical comedy. So just so you know. Just for you know. Tooth Nut, I love your coverage of Emergency from a few years back. Thanks for the virtual visit to the museum. Keep that in mind, everyone. I'll just say that. Keep that in mind. Virtual visit to the museum. Okay, that's all I'll say. It's 8 p.m. there. Oh, you are awesome. Oh, 11 p.m. Linda, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, now you're all making me feel bad because it's so late. You're watching me. Paul from Brisbane, Australia. Paul, you are getting the biggest shout out. Paul L. from Southern California here in the United States. I can't even imagine what time. What time is it for you now? It's the next day. It's probably like noon. Is it like noon on Tuesday for you guys? That is nuts. I appreciate it. That is so cool. We're getting viewers from Australia right now. How nuts and awesome is that? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. I just want to let you all know, I try to get to as many as possible. I read some, and I can't get to some. Some I do, some I can't. So I'm trying to get to as much. So I am not ignoring people, but it's hard sometimes. So I'm doing as best a job as I can. So thank you for understanding. Oh, see, sometimes it gets kind of tricky. Drama shows. I love drama shows. Name some drama shows. I mean, I love Fringe, if you've ever seen that. It's kind of a newer show, 2000s. It's a sci-fi show. I loved Lost. I didn't like the ending. But yeah, I mean, I definitely like dramas, for sure. I can go back and see some of the comments that I missed. Let me see here. Ooh, my favorite Laurel and Hardy films. That's a great question, Randy. Thanks for being the moderator as always. Always give you shout outs, Randy, for doing your hard work here. Oh man, there's a lot of good Well, I love Big Business. I mean, I went to visit the homes of Big Business. What's the other one? Oh, Goodbye. Goodbye. The Perfect Day. I think those right now are my two favorites. There's Blotto, which is pretty good. There's the one Big Berths. Big Berths. Yeah, where they're on a train. That one's pretty good. It's very... the Stooges have an episode like that. It's one of the first ones. I could probably check. I have it up here, which one it is. It's not Woman Haters. It's one of these over here. I can't really come up with it. Oh, A Pain in the Pullman. There we go. It's like Big Berths, kind of. So, yes. I've never seen Gomer Pyle USMC. I know who Gomer Pyle is. Shazam! Do you like Westerns? I never was able to get into a Western, which I'm like drooling about. But I feel like that's the type of person that I could be. I just don't know which one to watch. And I've been told and given 10 answers, so I don't know what to choose. It's hard. Watching from Chicago, Illinois. You're awesome, Vincent. Thank you so much. How many classic TV stars in their 80s and 90s are still with us? Oh, a lot. We have Robert Fuller, Dr. Brackett, Kelly Brackett from Emergency. We have two main characters of Emergency. We have actors from the 70s, from the 80s, some from the 60s. We have Tina Louise, Ginger from Gilligan's Island. Yeah, we have a good amount. Not so much from the 50s, but the 60s and on we do. Hey, Dave Sundstrom, big shout out to you, Dave. Thank you. Oh, you don't have to donate to the channel, Dave. You're awesome anyway. Great to see you on here with a $5 super chat. Come on, Dave. You know you are always welcome on my live stream. Keep up the great work, Rick. Well, thank you, Dave, being such a great support. I know a lot of you are Dave watchers or Sundstrom watchers for sure. Nice to see you on here. Nice to see that you're doing well. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. J.I.M. Crowley? Can I just say Crowley? Rick, what's your opinion on the Monsters from Rob Zombie? I'm going to watch it. We'll see how it is. I'm going with an open mind. I think I had like these type of expectations. They've been relaxed a little bit, and I'm just going to go with an open mind, watch it, give you guys a quick review, and just go from there. How are you doing, Dave, by the way? Hopefully everything's going great on your channel. I've been so busy with work and stuff. I've been in my little bubble. But great to see you, Dave. Always free to say hello, and always welcome on the channel. Dick Van Dyke is 96. Absolutely. Texas Rangers. Hold That Line is very good. They remade that a couple times. Yeah, they remade that. Favorite I Love Lucy episode? I mentioned it a little before, Mary. It's called Home Movies. It's the one where Fred says, "I got wind of it," right? And the tape like goes backwards and plays upside down. Just so fun. It's so funny. It's so funny. You cannot not like that episode, right? Why did the Stooges get new profiles for disorder in the court? I'm not sure I understand what that means. Lord Jadis, could you explain that a little bit to me? New profiles. I'm not sure what that means. It might just go over my head. It may be super obvious, and then Rick 9G is it's like late and I can't process right now, so I apologize. Almond 54, love your videos, Rick. The Gilligan's Island ones are my favorite. I love Gilligan's Island. I have a soft spot for Gilligan's Island. Bob Denver, I love the show. I feel like I'm on the island. It's a fantasy that I would love, like to be on that island with the music, like me walking on that island and the music in the background. Oh, just so great. Wow, that Munsters DVD is $12.96. Pretty cheap, right? Pretty inexpensive book. Excuse me, DVD. That's what I meant to say. Aw, Dave, you're awesome. Doing great, Rick. Thanks for asking. Your channel is one of my favorites. Dave does some great work. Dave, I remember when we did, when we did our interview where we interviewed one another. Oh man, just learning about you and learning about your passion for your videos and what you do is so much fun, and I do appreciate it. I have not watched the Gilligan's Island cartoons. Nope. I've been told I should. I was almost going to buy the series on cartoon. Hey, BG. Nice to see you on there. I think you said a comment before. So you say, hey, which confident team has a skit with animals under the dinner table? Well, that's kind of done a lot. They did on I Love Lucy, one dog, dinner table, but I'm thinking you may be talking about the Stooges or someone else who I haven't seen. With animals under the dinner table, dog and cat, they step on the tails and they sound off, and the people eating think it's the meat on the table. So funny. Well, there's a variation on that on the Stooges. You hear the animal sounds in the kitchen, and then as they're eating, right, they're like wow wow, and that's, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Mr. D. Wayne, happy late birthday, Rick. I appreciate that. You are awesome. Hey, Jordan from Baltimore, Maryland. Nice to see Brian Redman. Great channel supporter. Miss Backstager, great channel supporter. Trying to shout as many of you here. Christopher Kraft, great channel supporter. Wait, Angela Lansbury is still with us? No way. Wow, that's awesome. That's a blessing. That's cool. I did not know that. I don't know why I thought. Sometimes it's weird because you think that people pass away or that they don't, and it can get a little bit mixed. There could be a mix-up. So yeah, but I always make sure when I report that stuff that I know what's accurate for sure. Oh, you got to meet Bill Daly from I Dream of Jeannie. Cool. Roger, right? Roger. Major Nelson or Captain Nelson's. Now, I've said Captain and Major Nelson in videos of I Dream of Jeannie and people's heads explode. I'm like, you do know he was both. He was Captain, and then at one point he became Major Nelson for the rest of the show. And so it's funny. I've even said Captain Nelson in the black and white stuff, which is how he was, and they're like, no, it's not Captain, it's Major. What's wrong with you, Rick? I'm like, he was both. So, yeah, it's just funny. All right. Hey, Scott Baker. Yeah, Jose Morales. There we go. Malice in the Palace. And then they remade Malice in the Palace when Shemp passed away. They used some of that footage, and then so they reused some of that footage, and then they shot new stuff to kind of fill in the gap for him. Jordan Thomas, have you ever seen the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour? Not only that, I own the whole thing. And I made several videos on it. So, Jordan, you should check out my I Love Lucy playlist where I talk about the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, and I even made a video where I go through every single of the 13 episodes in detail. Like, I talk about the plot and what's going on. So you should check it out. Red Fan, crazy old brother, how you doing? Older brother, let's just say that. Major Healy, I just call him Roger. Murder, She Wrote. Oh, if you're a big fan of Murder, She Wrote, check out my Universal Studios video where I went on the tour and then we go by the Jaws Lake, and then the background you see the sets for Murder, She Wrote. The actual sets, the ones that were used in the show. So, yeah. John H. correct. They were both promoted to major. Absolutely. Happy 21st birthday. Scott Baker gets the comment of the day. I would love... Yes, I am 21. Let us see. So, if you want to know my thoughts on the Being the Ricardos, check out that video. I will not comment on it here any further. Did you like the Stooges when they colorized them? Not so much. I have the 16 colorized I Love Lucy episodes, and I've given many away. This has 16 of them. If you want to know what they are, just leave this up here. You can look at them. I think it's alright, okay? I think they're alright in black and white. No, excuse me, in color. I watch them, and I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's my favorite, though. I prefer it in black and white, but I'm not against color. I know some people are very, 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 very much against the color episodes of I Love Lucy. It doesn't irk me. It's just, I just like it better like that, you know? Absolutely, Randy. Check out my huge, as Randy says, inventory of videos, my playlist. I have several playlists. Absolutely, Randy. Categorized by show. So if you can just look and see all the shows I have there, everything from Seinfeld, I Love Lucy, Gilligan's Island, Emergency, Hogan's Heroes. I'm forgetting so many. Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, Marx Brothers. The list goes on and on. I think there's about 35 shows, 35 playlists, shows, movies. And I even have movie reviews. I have a lot of stuff. 1,500 and almost 1,600 videos. Look at that thing right there. And yeah, so check that out. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna advocate here for someone because I always make these videos and I advocate and I promote a lot of these wonderful actors that have given so much to us. I did not appreciate a lot of the flack that was given to Joe Besser. I'm gonna say it right here. He's not one of my favorite Stooges, but you have to understand something. They had a tragic loss of Shemp Howard, who was already replacing Curly after his premature death. Curly died very young. And then we have Shemp, the older brother, going, and they had a contract. They had a contract of 24 years, 25, 24 years that they had to fulfill, and they had 16 episodes or 16 shorts left. And Mo and Larry needed to make those shorts. They had no choice. They could not go against their contract. They didn't care. That is, Columbia did not care. Or Harry Cohn, he did not care if Shemp died. They needed to finish those. So they went to someone who was readily available, Joe Besser. Now, Joe Besser did his best in doing what he needed to do. Was he the best Stooge ever? In my opinion, no. But I think he did the best with what he could, and Mo accepted him, and Larry accepted him, and he was an official Stooge. Some people are saying he wasn't even a real Stooge. Totally incorrect. That's just based on people's opinion. He was a Stooge. Maybe he wasn't the favorite or the least liked. Maybe he was middle liked. Some people really like him. So the point is, man, people were so just going back on him and stuff. And I could get people not liking and so forth, but I was just very surprised. So that's just my thoughts on that. That's my little spiel on Joe Besser. So definitely I give him props in what he did. Absolutely. Hey, Pina Raposa. Rick, I want to say hi and letting you know I'm a huge fan of your channel from Bolton, Ontario, Canada. Thank you. A lot of Canadians joining us today. I love Canadian viewers. They're so nice. They always feel like they're here with us and they watch our shows. They watch, I mean, these are everyone's shows, but I mean, these American shows that I would classify as American, but you all love them. I love, by the way, Canadian fans, I love Red Green. I think he's amazing. His show, it's so good, right? Yeah, so thank you so much. About Gilligan's Island, I saw a theory why the Howls brought so much luggage. I made a video on it. Check my playlist. There's a real reason. And everyone asks it. I think everyone who either hasn't seen my video or is just a casual fan, some people get upset at Gilligan's Island. They're like, why is this? Why is this? They only do it about Gilligan's Island. They don't do it about anything else. They never ask why the Stooges have weird things, like Curly just pulls money out of a cash register around his neck, or why does I always say this, but why does Harpo Marx pull out a blowtorch from his pocket? No one questions that, but they always question Gilligan's Island. It's just a thing. Have I seen it? It's About Time. I have. I own the whole series. It's not really a long series. I haven't seen every episode. I made videos on it, so you should check it out. Yeah, I own all of Red Green, the whole series. It's a box set like this big. I'm not even kidding. Like this and like this. It's huge. You know, he did a lot of work and a lot of stuff. Did anyone watch the Superman Aquaman Hour? I watched the old Superman with George Reeves. I watched some of it. When I'm silent like this, I am just reading some of the comments. Beagle's Blockhead, happy belated birthday. It was great meeting Rico. Yes, let's talk about that. Is he a classic TV show, TV movie watcher as well? Did y'all grow up on the classics? So I only did. The whole classics thing was my own thing. My parents didn't get me into it. They weren't influencing me. In fact, they had their own shows that they watched and their own things that they enjoyed. The only thing really that my dad watched and he watched with me was the Three Stooges. He watched it in Spanish when he was a little boy, because the country where he came from they spoke Spanish. And so, yeah, a lot of these shows are translated to many languages, including I Love Lucy, Gilligan's Island, Stooges, I Dream of Jeannie, lots of these shows. And my brother was not into them. My brother would do the opposite. He would not want to watch these shows. He still kind of doesn't want to watch these shows. I don't think he's ever sat down and watched I Love Lucy or Gilligan's Island or any of these shows. Just not his thing. He's a gamer. But we're celebrating my birthday. He is aware of the history of this in general and how impactful. He knows about my channel. He knows about all of you, obviously. And he knows that all of you are big fans. And so he gave that little spiel in the beginning about the classic movie monsters, and he really enjoyed the trip, he told me. And I think he enjoyed it more than he thought. And it's been, with all this going on in the world, for me it's been 2 years since I've been to I went to Knott's before Universal a couple months ago, but Universal is my favorite theme park in Southern California, or ever. And going back was you could hear the excitement in my voice. I probably went a total of 50 times in my whole life, maybe more. I had first time when I was a little boy and just up to when I was 16, and just I would go so much. So just letting you all know, Universal is my place. Love it more than Disneyland. Love it more than everything. So Red Green is a comedian from Canada, played by Steve Smith, and he has this lodge kind of show. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's really funny. It's Canadian humor, but it's very, very funny in my opinion. He's kind of like Home Improvement type character. It's not a copy of Home Improvement. I think this even came before Home Improvement. This was back in the 80s, going into the 90s and early 2000s. And he would fix everything with duct tape. He sounds like this. Hey, how are you doing? We're gonna fix this lawnmower here, and he uses duct tape over everything. And he says things like, if women can't find you smart, hopefully they can find you handy. Something like that. So, yeah. Nyuk nyuk, they just keep it like that in Spanish. I've never watched any Stooge movie. Should I watch them with Joe Dorito? Maybe I should. Jims, hey, nice to see you. You stumbled on this live. I'm glad that you did. Happy belated birthday to me. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Melrose Place, I was too young to watch because this was 90s, and so I was still like a few years old. I'm like 5, 6 years old, and I don't see any reruns of Melrose Place. So those soap operas I never got into. I was on Beverly Hills 90210. Like, I was actually an extra on the show. They came to my school. I can tell you the episode that I was in and everything. Oh, nice. Italian G, you're going to Halloween Horror Nights? I'm debating over going to the one here in LA. And or in Hollywood. I've never been, but I may. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jared, for correcting me on that. I didn't know the exact quote. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. There we go. And he uses duct tape for everything. And there's Harold, his nephew. He's like, "Hey, Harold, how are you?" He's like, "Hello, Red. How are you?" He's like this nerd. It's a great show. It's pretty funny. I would say this show is like for men. Anyone can watch it, okay? But it's like catered in a jokey way to men that are married. And what is great is that there's little inside jokes and stuff, but it's for the most part it's clean humor. It's really not super dirty or anything like that, and I admire that type of comedy as well. It's just ridiculous stuff. Like I think one time he chopped the roof of a car off or something, or a car in half, and he spliced another half with duct tape, and you see it, and you're like, how did they do this? Like production, like it's nuts. Like just that's why maybe I want to cover the show one day. I have the whole series. So, yeah, just to let you know. Brian, you should go to Universal. Totally worth it. It's okay. It's only 120 bucks. I know, maybe that is expensive. I get it. But even if you go once in your life, it's worth 120 bucks. The memories of going once and seeing all those things, if you're big into movies and TV shows and stuff, it's going to last you a lifetime for 100. Like, there's so many things that are a lot more expensive, right? Like if you go to Disneyland for one day, it's way more expensive than that. I was able to get, if you have AAA, I'm not promoting AAA. Hey, AAA, if you're listening and you want to sponsor Rick 9G, that's awesome because I use you and AAA and or anyone that works for AAA that can get me that hookup. But yeah, like if you go to the Turnstile at Universal, again, I'm not sponsored for this, but I love Universal. If you go to the Turnstile, it's about 120 bucks a day to get in, okay? But if you actually get it through AAA, 120 I paid for one ticket and I get a day free. So it's only 60 bucks a day. It's awesome. Kenneth Huber coming in with a $50 super chat. Kenneth, you are awesome. Super generous. I really like your videos showing current locations from old movies and TV shows. Kenneth, I'm glad that you like those. Are you more particular to the Stooges, to Laurel and Hardy? I've been doing a lot of that lately. I have more that are coming. I have more planned. I did the park where the Batman was filmed and Seinfeld and oh man, one more show. I'm just having Three Stooges, in fact. So Kenneth, I'm giving you the big shout out today. Salute to you. Thank you so much for being such an amazing channel supporter and just in general for watching the videos. I mean, I will always say that one of the best things all of you could do is watch the videos, watch them all the way through, watch every single video, be subscribed, and that's all free. So Kenneth, going above and beyond the call of duty, I appreciate you. And I'm so glad you're liking these locations, old movies, TV shows. There will be more coming, so stay tuned. I'm excited to visit some of these because some of these I'm going for the first time. And so it's going to be awesome. And I'm pretty sure some are not on YouTube yet, so that's what I'm saying. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Woo. There we go. Good. I got to drink water. I just turned 35. Hey, Lance. Nice to see you. Kenneth, I'm glad that you like them all. I like them all, too. Because, let me tell you, they're in particular, yes, they are catered to me in the sense that I like them all. But I think that's kind of how it should be, right? Like, I should be very enthusiastic about these places. If not, who's going to want to watch the videos, right? So, I purposely try to go to as many places as I enjoy that I think you will all enjoy. And so to hear that you all like them makes me so happy. Awesome. Oh yeah, so Blink FM, if you visited the Bewitched and I Dream of Genie houses, those unfortunately are demolished as of right now. They're gone. Warner Brothers, I believe, sold their lot. That's where that was. It used to be Columbia, so the Stooges filmed on that lot. They sold it to, I think, the Discovery Channel. So now it's Warner. It's like Discovery Warner Brothers or something like. They bought out Warner Brothers or something like that. And they decided to tear down that part of the lot. So, yeah. My birthday's August 13th. Random Jeff. Hello, Mr. Rick 9G. Thank you for all the great videos. And thank you for you, Random Jeff, for the Cowboys And the little emoji, you are awesome. Thank you, Kenneth. Yes, I'm glad my enthusiasm shows. It's, again, I think it's an appeal of the channel, right? If the enthusiasm shines through, I've seen videos out there where I'm like, not critical, but I'm like, why is this person there? You can tell that they don't even want to be there. Maybe they have to make a living. Like, I get it. But when it does make that much of a difference when you enjoy it. So I appreciate all of you with that. I know. Yeah, a lot of our, okay, I don't want to say a lot, but yes, a good amount of our history and things like TV shows and movies is gone. They tore it down, but some of it isn't. And that's why I'm trying to visit these places to show you and kind of dispel the myth that everything is torn down. A lot of it is. I would say more than 50%. I would say maybe 60%, but 40% is still around in some capacity, whether it's memorabilia or props or homes that are there that no one even knows. You would drive by and you're like, oh yeah, this is in Laurel and Hardy, and you drive by it, right? Like those homes. If you're interested in that, check those out. I think so. All I'm gonna do here is a money sign up in the air when we ask Strange Brew, why would they demolish those houses? Yeah. Remember, not that this changes anything, but they're not full houses. Just a little movie trivia here and TV shows. They're front facades, so it's only facades, and in the back, sometimes they're just shells. That is a house on the outside, but inside there's nothing. There's no nothing. Literally, like there's just like a floorboard, and you can see the roof, and there's no insulation, there's no piping, there's nothing. The interior scenes are shot on a soundstage versus outside on the lot. So, yeah. Lance, you love the Three's Company mistakes. I love them too. I love making those. I'm appreciative that you like them as well. I've never got into the Brady Bunch. Nope. Oh, I'm doing a leg change here. And I change my leg positioning so they won't fall asleep. Let's see. Three's Company episode. I think I said that a little earlier. Camping We Will Go. I really love. I love Up in the Air. Those are two that I really, really love. Hey, thank you so much. Is it Z-Lyle? Or is it Lyle? Yeah. Hey. Nice to see you too. Great. Have a great night as well. Thank you so much for coming on the live stream. Oh yeah, no, Jose, I am not surprised, and this is a good fact. Did you know the set houses used in the film Deep Impact was once used for Twilight Zone? Monsters Who Do out on Maple Street. Absolutely, yeah, they reuse homes all the time, even the same home. Those from the Warner Brothers Ranch were reused. It's pretty insane how they do that, right? Yeah. All right, Brian, thank you for coming on the live stream. Justin Beaton coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Justin, for coming in and for supporting the channel with a super chat. Do you think modern TV will ever produce any classics again? This is an awesome question. I think probably the best I've had so far. And I'll answer what I believe. It seems like today's shows are always either political or just terrible quality. I'm with you 100%. Seems like the politics has gone up and the terrible quality has gone up. Or the quality's gone down, but the terrible quality's gone up. Yeah, I have faith that there will be gems. TV may change from what we think as a medium. It may be like a YouTube TV hybrid. I can't tell the future, but quality writing will come back because eventually I think there will be this is my belief, my guess, opinion sign coming up here, subjective thought. I think already a lot of people have stopped watching a lot of TV. They're watching streaming and stuff. But people are going to start to be more choosy and start to watch something they like and not just mindless TV. And so what's going to happen, a lot of these companies and things will realize that some of the shows are bombing. They already are, some of these movies. But I think the tide is at the base right now. It's bottomed out. So it's either going to stay like that for a little bit or it's going to go up. I don't think it's going to get worse. They're starting to come around to realize that people won't just eat up anything. And there's a desire for quality. Things like the Orville being better than the original or the Star Trek, right? Things like that just is telling you that the quality is going to start to go up and people are going to choose the quality versus the name. and they're going to make more money, and they're going to follow the money, and they're going to have to drop their shenanigans. We'll just say that. So I have faith that all that is going to change. Absolutely. Great question. I made a video, Random Jeff, on the tunnel entrances on Hogan's Heroes. Well, I made on the inside of the tunnels of Hogan's Heroes. All it is, the tunnel entrance, because people think things are kind of real, and there's a lot of magic in Hollywood. The outside of Hogan's Heroes was outdoors, and then the inside barracks, which they just step in, they go in another location. They actually film it in a location miles away, and then they just edit it later on. And so the tunnel entrance, all it was inside a soundstage, basically very next to Clink's office, because again, it's just what the camera needs to see. It's just propped up, and they go in, and that's it. There's no real tunnel, by the way. They never dug any tunnel for the show on Hogan's Heroes. That's all fake, right? That's all fake. It's the illusion of that. Good, I'm glad I got your name right. Whew. First time ever, because I'm known as Mispronounced Rick. I mispronounce everything. I'm saying that sarcastically. People always make fun of how I pronounce things. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. Thank you to the Penguin community for coming with a $2 super chat. You're awesome. We Penguins like I Love Lucy. I'm so glad that the Penguins gave their stamp of approval to I Love Lucy. Thank you so much. I'm glad the community got together and advocated for I Love Lucy, but you like it in black and white. So thank you so much, Penguin community. You are awesome. Probably the most famous demolished set was a Hill Valley set from Back to the Future. So a little correction there. Yeah, so they didn't demolish it, but it was destroyed in a fire. But they rebuilt it pretty much to exact specifications. Pretty much. So what you're actually, when you go to Universal and you see it, it's in the same spot where it was, but unfortunately it burned. So, right, like the same materials aren't there, but like the same structure, you could say, is there. Redress kind of thing, if that makes any sense. Jim's, are you going to do any Seinfeld videos about Seinfeld? I've made a few. I've made 3, 4, 5. I'll make more for sure. Don't worry. I love Seinfeld. Absolutely. Yes, Kenneth, I am a private pilot. Oh, no way. You were in the military. I used to, not me. Sorry, let me correct. You, Kenneth, used to fly the A7E Corsair during your early years in the Navy. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for serving. It was a light attack aircraft. No, I'm very familiar with the A7. That is awesome. The Corsair is, see, you did the dream thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to actually go into, not the Navy, but the Air Force. I know, you can make fun, but I wanted to fly fighter jets. And unfortunately, my sight, if you see I wear glasses, my sight is not great. And so I wasn't qualified, but I didn't go into the military. And instead, I decided to just go start my own businesses and so forth. But I became a pilot. I became a private pilot. Not the same. It's not as cool as a Corsair. It's not as cool as the F-14 Tomcat or the F-16 or the F-18, which my high school buddy actually did fly. He did go into the Naval Academy and did fly that. So that's awesome, Ken. I didn't know that. See, I love this stuff from you guys because all of you are so talented. You have many awesome talents and interests and things that I like as well. So share that stuff with me in the community. That's awesome. I love that stuff. That's so cool. Okay. Carlos Vasquez, nice to see you. I'm finally glad that you're able to say hi. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. All right. Oh, yeah. How'd you... Wait. Oh, because I stood up. Yeah, let me show all of you. I'm wearing my Fred Mertz TV shirt. David Davenport sent this. I'm just trying to get in, the awkward position. Hold on. I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing my gym shorts. There we go. There we go. You can see my Fred shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts ever. I mean, Fred. And, I mean, look. How can't you not love that face? Fred Mertz. He's like my favorite. And I love Lucy. Of course you guys watched it, because I stood up to reposition my legs. Well, I appreciate that, Kenneth. You say, actually, a pilot is a pilot is a pilot, if you know what I mean. No, I totally understand it. It's like if you say if you're a driver, right, and if you drive a truck or a Ferrari, right, you're a driver. No, I totally get that, and I appreciate that sentiment. We're all pilots in the pilot community, but I can't say that I'm mildly jealous. I would love to fly a Corsair one day. Maybe one day, maybe one day Rick 9G is so popular that I'll be able to buy a P-51 Mustang one day, and because they're worth like $2 million now. Who knows, right? But that would be a dream of mine to buy that aircraft and like restore it, or like just to like take care of a vintage aircraft like that and fly it, a World War II fighter. Oh my goodness. Be taught how to fly that, just get my tail wheel endorsement, and then just my high performance, and then just like, oh my goodness, that would be amazing. Sorry, I'm going a little nerdy on the airplane stuff, on the aviation. Don't you love that shirt, Jims? It's such a good shirt. Miss Backstager, So you say a statement, and it's going around the internet, and one of my videos, I'm sure, contributed to that. Vivian Vance didn't love Fred. I know what you're saying. Vivian Vance was the actress, but Fred was the character, not Bill Frawley. They weren't the best of friends, but they also didn't hate each other. That's been documented. They weren't best friends either. It was more like a professional courtesy that they had, and they didn't really want to hang around each other. But they were professionals. They did their work. They went to award things together. You know, they just did what they needed to do. They were very respectful, right? All right, everyone. I think I'm going to leave the live stream in just a minute or two. Let me know if you have any last minute things. I appreciate all of you coming on here. It is awesome that you came on here, especially this late night, whether it is around my time, 8 p.m., or whether you're watching this and it's like 11, or you're watching this in Australia and it's like noon on Tuesday, which is nuts. But I appreciate every single one of you coming on here, and look at the concurrent views and the likes. If you by any chance, before the live stream ends, if you could give a like, if you haven't yet, if you forgot, now's a great time to do the likes. Let's see how far and how high we can get them. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to miss any of my live streams, or you came in the middle or something, you can go watch the first part of it, or you can go watch what you missed. By the way, a lot of ways you can support the channel. The best way is always by watching, by being a subscriber. You only have to do that once, and by liking all the videos that you are watching. It's all free to do that. In addition, people want to help out. Super Chat's a great way. These are all, again, optional. Patreon is a great way. You get exclusive items, and you get exclusive information, podcasts, thumbnails, a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you check all that stuff out. Links are in the description. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. Shiloh, you had a question? I'll get to you. Let me know. What radio station's in my car? Oh, I go... Well, I don't know if many people may know, because they may go different. Kiss FM, 104.3, 97.1. Well, 97.1 isn't music anymore. It's news. 93.1 Jack FM, 95.5 KLOS, 98.7 K-Rock. Oh, no, that's 106.7. Anyway, I hope any of those made sense to any of you. Yeah, Shallow, I just read your comment. I asked if you wanted to have a question answered. Oh, you're watching Sweetie Lin from the Philippines? Thank you so much. You are far. Almost as far as Australia. Like, both of you are very far, so I do appreciate it. Last minute things, let me know in the comment below, especially Shiloh. Like I said, I didn't get your comment. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all for the belated birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Good night, everyone. People are starting to leave. The Monkeys and the Partridge Family and the Hardy Boys shows. Did you like? I did not have an opportunity to watch any of them. Usually Partridge Family, I kind of went right through them. Hardy Boys, I never saw on TV. Like, I never saw the show like appear on reruns or anything. And now the Monkeys, I don't even know what the Monkeys is about, to be honest. There's so many shows that I haven't seen that maybe I should see. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get into them. A lot of you have encouraged me to watch certain shows, and I have. And so I appreciate that. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I do appreciate all of you for the support, for liking the channel, for subscribing, for all the wonderful things, especially to our super chat individuals. Special big shout out to Kenneth and everyone who did leave a super chat. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for being positive and awesome, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Randy. Elsine, my doggy, is doing amazing. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Jared.